I'm gonna move out at some point. So
That's my work.
that's the thing, yeah. This guy is packing me in there. Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what if they're gonna go that way or that way, and then I'm gonna go outside. So yeah. Well, if he moves it a little bit, then I can squeeze past. Yeah. I can even come up a little bit this way and feel frame up. Yeah, because I think the only way for me to do this is to put the emotions that side of the graph and after that. checked the boards and I saw it says there's a lot of empty spaces only.
angikwazi nokukhuluma manje ngoba uyakhala sekakhalisa nami sorry man alright
igama likababa ngesibongo
umandla wahlonipha kangithi ngiyabonga alright
We're starting to see them try again. It's
Because it seems like it's late. Yeah, I think you have to make come forward.
We are going to see on South African International Day, which is of course where we find international arrivals. So September. I drank my beer.
I already have this score.
Which one's what I want? Tell them it's a correct angle. Good. Mape. Wait. Oh no, she's going for an interview. Huh? She's going for an interview.
pessoal. Adorarem quando o pessoal.
Guys, can I quickly tell you that the ministers are going to the holding room. These people will come in a group from here, and then they will come and join you. So can we move to the media center at the moment?
Yeah, we want to get the shots and then coming through. We want to get these shots and then coming through immediately.
We see them
And then they will come through.
So those people, they usually don't want to come about their high. So how many people? So interviews and doing so for I don't know. So what is what happening? I know what you want to ask.
For you.
For me? Thank you. Also.
When there's a balloon, you just go.
Yeah, what's up? I was asking if is it not better to stand that side because they will be going that direction, not this side.
My friend, my father is coming through that door. He's coming through that door. I'm meeting him by that door. I don't care which way they tell you to go. Meeting him there.
Just come again.
He's coming through that door. I'm meeting him by that door. That's going to happen. I know. They've got my sister.
I understand. I've been trying a lot today and failing.
That's all I need.
Stand up, Dylan. Wanneer, als ze een break heeft, dan keer aan mij. Gelijk in kap handen.
Sorry guys, can you just give them space, please? So tell me, how are you feeling right now?
How are you guys feeling right now?
We're on fire. Oh, jullie? Hierdie kant toe.
Let's go and talk to the media room, please.
From the People's Station here.
Arrange a place where you can talk.
This is a very important day for these families to reunite with their loved ones.
Let's proceed.
The police are really
Push them to media center. Yeah, I'm very happy. Get happy. I'm very happy.
Ma'am, how are you feeling right now?
Is that the only one left? Yes. The one right in front of it.
Sissy, little piece of the cake, luggage. Yeah.
Okay, so all cameras are in the room. Can we go?
No, watch it, watch it.
Yeah. That guy.
Sunday, you need to sort out your cable. Is it done? Julie guy here, and he's got people to have the CCTV live.
Okay, good morning, everyone, Excellencies. We are not going to keep you long. I just want to get thumbs up from SABC. We have a big audience. Stop me when you're ready. I'm going to leave them out. Okay, thank you everyone. Just quick intros. On the left, we've got the High Commissioner of Zimbabwe to South Africa. Next to His Excellency is the Excellency Ambassador of Sudan to South Africa. And next to him is the South African Ambassador to Sudan, who has just arrived with the delegation, the South African nationals that we've evacuated. You know, Minister Mutwaledi, Home Affairs, Minister Pando, International Relations, and Minister Modise, Defense. I'm going to hand over to my boss, the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Dr. Naledi Pando, to speak, and then we'll take it from there. Minister?
Thank you. Thank you very much, DDG. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. We thought that it's important that the people of South Africa see that all the nationals of South Africa that had indicated they wish to return home are back home. So we just want South Africa to be assured, because all of us have been waiting for you to come back. And we're absolutely happy that you have been able to safely return home. We also welcome our friends from Zimbabwe and the one returnee from Lesotho, who is part of our South African delegation. I'm greeting you on behalf of the President, the government, and the people of South Africa. And all we wish to say is that we are really happy that you are back home. We feel for the people of Sudan, who are experiencing a terrible conflict, and we pray that that conflict will end, but we are happy that you are back home. There are 51 of you who have come back, who are here today, and we had more who arrived yesterday on a commercial airline. I'm really grateful, and I'm sure you would agree with me that we must thank our members in the South African National Defense Force. We must thank our state security agency. We must thank our diplomatic staff and officials in the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. And of course, we must thank our ambassador to Sudan, the South African ambassador to Sudan. Ma'am, we really, really thank you for all the effort that you and your staff made to ensure that we were able to get our people back home. So really, it's just to say welcome to all of you. I know it's very traumatic, I know the children want to get home. I know you wish to be with your families, but we could not let this moment pass. And I must say that it has been a partnership with the departments I have referred to, also a partnership that included support from the Gift of the Givers, a very wonderful non-governmental organization that is making an immense contribution to humanitarian relief all over the world, wherever South Africans need assistance. So this effort between government and Gift of the Givers has been a really wonderful effort. I can also not neglect to thank the Ambassador of Sudan to South Africa, Excellency. Thank you. Whenever we needed help, whenever we needed a phone number in Sudan, the Ambassador was ready to provide us with that phone number. So, Excellency, I sincerely thank you. Shukran, all the help that you have given to us. Also, our colleague, the High Commissioner of Zimbabwe to South Africa, for being here today and walking with us as we sought to get all our people back home. I'm so glad to see all of you. I know you wish to be with your families. You've had enough of politicians, I'm sure. I just want to say to you that we as government hope that we can play some role in bringing peace back to Sudan, because I don't think we should desert the people of Sudan. It is South Africa's policy that we must try wherever we can on our continent to silence their guns. We are unhappy when we see people suffering, fellow Africans, experiencing what the people of Sudan are going through today. And so we will try to make every effort to really engage with the current conflict parties in Sudan, to persuade them to lay down arms, to persuade them to work for peace. And wherever we as South Africa can give some small assistance, as the government and people of South Africa, I know we are ready to do so. And I'm sure you will agree that South Africa must always play a role of supporting other Africans so that we achieve peace and stability on the continent, because that is the only way in which we will advance positive development in Africa. So I'm glad you are back, but I want to conclude by saying, let us not forget the people of Sudan. They are suffering, they're experiencing something terrible. And I will be asking in the next week or so that we put our heads together and we look at how we can help those displaced people who've crossed into Chad. Chad doesn't have the resources to help all those who've now become refugees from Sudan. And if there's some small way we can help as South Africa, I believe we should do so, and we will indicate how we will give help in the next week or so. So really, this is just to say welcome home and to say stay safe while you're home. I don't want to hear about you doing anything that gets you into any difficult situation. Stay safe, be at home, be with your family, and if there's any way in which you wish to communicate with us, I know you know where to get hold of us now. So thank you for coming back home safe, and please go and be with your family, have a rest, and enjoy being back in Mzansi, your Mzansi. Thank you very much.
I just want to check if there is a burning question from the media that you want to ask. Otherwise, we want to allow the families to go. Let's take that question. Kaya, I see you are. And yes, okay, let's do those.
Good afternoon.
Please go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. It's Bonso Mozipa from Kaya News. I just wanted to find out, will the victims be provided with psychological support?
Kaya?
Hi, good day. It's Kalisha Kumala here from SABC News. Maybe just, Minister, once again, just take us through to the process. How is it like, obviously, evacuation with a number of obstacles that you had to overcome for South Africans to be out of Sudan? And maybe just your point about making sure that there is long-lasting peace in Sudan. We saw that the South Sudanese president has been engaging with the two generals. Does South Africa support those efforts, especially as an AU and Peace and Security Council member? Thank you.
Hi, Minister Dennis Delport from Network 24 in Beeld. I just want to confirm with you the number of people that arrived in South Africa on this flight. And then also I just want to know from you, you've just taken a stand on the war in Sudan. Why not on the war in Ukraine? Thank you.
Is there anyone else? That you will be the last.
Afternoon, ministers. I just wanted to get an update from...
Intro?
Oh, sorry, it's Linda Domasegana from ENCA. I would like to get a sense from the Home Affairs Minister. In our conversation earlier, Mr. Monyela, you mentioned how you had to get emergency documentation for a number of the South Africans. Perhaps take us through that process. And then from the, to the Minister of Defence as well. Just the logistics around the military getting involved. How was that process? How did that process unfold?
Yeah. Thank you. Those will be the only questions we're taking. Thank you, guys. Minister?
Okay, thank you for the questions. I did forget when I thanked all the departments. I didn't thank Minister Motsoaledi's department, Home Affairs. Minister, thank you as well. I wouldn't call our citizens victims. They are survivors. And that's how I regard it. But I do think that we have counseling services in our country, and I would say for those particularly who are in very conflict-ridden areas, I would advise that they do make use of counseling services. We have both in public institutions as well as in the private sector excellent support that all our citizens can access. So I really would encourage that, because it's horribly traumatic to be caught up in such a terrible situation of armed conflict, and we shouldn't undermine the impact that this can have. With respect to what did it take, a lot of organizing. We had a joint committee that worked on evacuation, which was made up of various departments, the departments I've referred to. I also believe state security played an extremely important role as part of that joint evacuation committee. So it took lots of meetings. Fortunately, the fact that Sudan continued to have internet and some communication availability, that made it possible for us to have constant communication. But I must say our ambassador and her team went well beyond the call of duty in the work that they did. And for me, Team South Africa showed its mettle. And what we have is an evacuation where the government and Gift of the Givers have played a very important central role. With others, you would recall with other countries, the government has really been involved in evacuating diplomats and their families rather than the ordinary citizenry. But with us, it was our people that we were able to bring back home. On South Sudan, President Salva Kiir continues to be seized with the matter, along with the President of Djibouti and the President of Kenya. They have been assigned by IGAD, the regional body, to be the lead in interfacing with the two conflicting parties and attempting to draw them together. From the most recent statements I saw this week, where the Foreign Minister of South Sudan briefed all ambassadors, the process is still not moving the way we would like to see it move, but we continue to see some observing of the ceasefire. However, gunshots continue to be heard. So there's a great deal of work to be done, but the three presidents are giving this matter their closest attention, as is the African Union. On the number that has arrived, I understand it's 53. As I said, 51 are South Africans. One is from Zimbabwe, is a citizen of Zimbabwe. and one other is a citizen of Lesotho. You would have seen earlier this week arrival of Zimbabwean citizens in Harare, so they managed to get alternative transport. We also had 10 South Africans arriving earlier this week, because you know there were two routes for evacuation. One was via the port of Sudan and into Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and then the other was the Egyptian route that we followed.
It was 53 this morning.
So this morning it's 53. And then you said, I take a position on the conflict in Sudan, but not on Ukraine. Let me explain to you, because I think media doesn't always listen to us. I have said, as a country, when South Africa became free, we undertook, through our constitution, we will always strive for peace. We don't want war because we know what conflict does to a nation. And so I have appealed both to Ukraine, to Russia, and to the international community. Let us use the best diplomatic efforts to bring the two parties together and to have a settlement, because war and conflict are destructive, people die every day, and we want to end this conflict. That is the position of South Africa. So I think it's absolutely wrong to say we don't have a position. We do. We want peace for the people of Ukraine. With respect to Home Affairs and Defense, the two ministers will speak. Minister Motsoaledi.
I don't know whether I should stand also.
Yes, I think it's better.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Minister Pando. Look, it is illegal to cross any borders without requisite documentation, especially passport. So whenever people are stranded, it might be you in the center of London, having been marked or lost luggage, etc., you still have to come back home. So it's the duty of Home Affairs, through our missions, to offer you emergency travel documents. We always do that. I've told people that there is nothing called an emergency passport, because they always phone us and say, I must get into Botswana this afternoon, can you give me an emergency passport? There's nothing like that. What they are talking about is an emergency travel document. It's not available to you to leave South Africa, but it's available to you to come back home. And that's what we've issued. Even Thabo Bester, he was fetched by us in Tanzania, but we gave him an emergency travel document because he left illegally. We didn't want him to come back illegally also. So even if this was an evacuation, we had to give them emergency travel documents. Thank you very much. Oh yes, okay.
The question was the process involved. Members of the National Defense Force swear to protect life, limb and property of South Africa wherever South Africans have been and in distress. The South African National Defense Force has not disappointed. This is not the first time we are involved. You'll remember when your children, South Africans, were stuck in China during COVID. It was young military staff of South Africa that went there and fetched them. So this is not the first time, this won't be the last time. Should I outline the process here in this particular instance? I think not. I think that we should be grateful that our citizens, our neighbors are back home, that we have not lost unnecessary lives, that we were all listening to the call, that we all cooperated, and that these lovely babies who are here with us are here, that we have not lost South Africans yet. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ministers. Thank you all. That concludes this briefing, and once again, welcome home. Welcome home.
I see you.
Just on standby. I'm trying to get one of them back
I think we should step outside. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let us be outside. Don't you think the minute that we can...
It's just that we may miss them.